Dan Git Show.
Hello people watching this video. I'm finally... Wait, I already said that. Yeah, I know it's been a few months since I've had a video that I've worked on, but if you've seen my latest video, if it's still there, it had Git explaining what was going on. Sort of.
Hey, I was just following your freaking script.
And I've also been posting some updates on Twitter and Facebook and things like that. But enough about that. Let's get to what this video is about. Now, whatever I titled the video, basically I'll be looking at some games that have portable versions, like Battletoads or Croc. Just games like that. Now, my only standards at this point in time is that it can only be a Game Boy or a Game Boy Advance game. It can't be too similar to the console version, like a later release of a game that's been slightly updated. So no Super Mario Advance 2, because that's just a slightly updated version of Super Mario World. There's only a few exceptions to the later releases. It has to be different, but of the same title, like as if it came out around the same time. And I guess that's about it. So let's get this thing started. And if you're wondering how I'm able to play these without an emulator, well, here you go. A Game Boy player for the GameCube. See, that little hole right there is where you put the cartridges in. It was basically the GameCube version of the Super Game Boy that was on the Super Nintendo. Except this one will be more like the Super Game Boy Advance or something like that. With the exception of a few things, pretty much anything that can be played on Game Boy Advance can be played on the Game Boy player. Because of where you have to put the cartridge, they put this little ejector thing here to make life easier. Careful where you set your GameCube though. Let's start off with the Game Boy Color version of the game I did my first video on. Nice tune. Well, it looks like the original, in a way. It's basically a portable version of the Super Nintendo version of the game. Or you could consider it the portable version of the first set of levels on the PlayStation/PC version. There's not too much to this version, but it's not bad either. Now we move on to Battletoads, with a gray cartridge.
Oh god, you're not really good.
Yeah, there wasn't a whole lot of color to this game. This game came out before there was more color for the Game Boy. And before the Game Boy Color came out. And like the other versions of the game, it's hard as hell. If you want to destroy your Game Boy, play this game. It helps. But if you do like Battletoads and you want to take it on the go with you, and you have some sort of Game Boy, then get this. It's still pretty good for what it is. Now we move on to Croc. If you want to see the PlayStation review for this, then look up Kid Icarus on YouTube. He has a pretty good video on it.
I don't even know what he does. I mean, it looks like Croc literally breaks his spine.
Croc was a... Wait, where's his teeth? Did Nintendo ban his teeth? Were they too violent? Also, what's with the sound and music in this game? Buy today, the new CD that'll make you either want to blow your brains out or fly into the sun, like a lot of music of today. Unlike the console version of the game, being a 3D platformer, this one's a 2D platformer. With a bad jump button control, you can just hold down the button and he'll continuously jump. Not to mention it's the same button as the stomp move, and he jumps and lands so fast it's hard to do the stomp. Oh, and there's no save. And this is a 2000 game. Good job. The movie game everyone knows about on the PS1, N64, and Dreamcast. Toy Story 2. I would have started with the original Toy Story game, but it's a little bit hard to do when you don't have it.
Nice artwork.
Yet another Game Boy game with bad audio. This might have been the best they could do, possibly, but this is just awful. Of course I didn't care as a kid playing this, but I've grown up since then.
Barely.
You shut up! Anyway, this is another game where the controls are bad and the music is ear bleeding. Ever wanted to play Perfect Dark on the go? Well, they kinda made that. Apparently, it's so intense, you have to have a AAA battery to play it. Why does this remind me of the original Metal Gear game? Actually, it looks like any old top-down perspective game. Oh, except in this game, you can go in 8 different directions. It does seem pretty advanced for a Game Boy Color game. I mean, there's a lot you can do. No wonder it needed a AAA battery to play it. And oh, wait till you hear the voice acting.
Joanna, after your many years of study and training, this is the final test. Beyond this door is the Carrington Institute training ground. It simulates urban combat conditions. Using non-lethal ammunition, you must complete the tasks ahead of you. Success will reward you with the license you so desire. Failure is not an option.
Yes, sir. I understand.
With the way I play, it has to be an option. Better than a lot of music of today.
Yeah,
You know, I wish I
He's
was...
up there, Napoleon Dynamite. You've already used a joke like that.
Yeah, you're right. Even though the sound quality of the voices weren't great, it was pretty advanced for the time. Speaking of advanced, now we move on to the Game Boy Advance game, Ed, Edd n Eddy, The Misadventures, based on the cartoon of the same name. Only without the Misadventures part, that'd be like an episode or a bad spin-off. Ed, Edd n Eddy. I've never heard that sound before. Well, to be honest, the animation is better than the console version of the game. I'll do a review on it sometime. Basically, it's cel-shaded, but not in a good way. In this version, it looks almost like the cartoon. Pretty good for the Game Boy Advance, but the same can't really be said about the game itself. I don't really know what to do, but I'm assuming you keep collecting coins for Jawbreakers. Hello people watching this video. I'm finally... Wait, I already said that. Yeah, I know it's been a few months since I've had a video that I've worked... Yeah, I know it's been a few months since I've had a video that I've worked on, but if you've seen my latest video, if it's still there, it had Git explaining what was going on. Sort of.
Hey, I was just following your freaking script.
And I've also been posting some updates on Facebook and Twitter, but, you know, sometimes. Whenever I can get on there. And I've also been posting on Facebook and Twitter some updates, and 21. And I've also been posting some updates on Twitter and Facebook and things like that. But enough about that. Let's get to what this video is about. Now, whatever I made the title for this video... But enough about that. Let's get to what this video is about. Now, whatever I titled the video, basically, I'll be looking at some games that have portable versions, like, you know, Super Mario Bros. Actually, that's a bad example. Like Battletoads or Croc or something like that. Like Battletoads or Croc. Just games like that. Now the only standards I have right now Now the only standards I have right now are Now the only standards I have on standards. Look at this. Look at this. I have standards on. Actually, it's a crasher. It's awesome. My only standards at this point in time is that it can't be too similar to the console version. It can only be a later release if it's different. Basically, overall, it has to be really different. And for right now, I can only go on Game Boy and Game Boy Advance games because I don't have an emulator to be able to do anything else. And I'm doing this legally too. Now, the only standards I have right now at this point in time is that it either has to be a Game Boy or a Game Boy Advance game, since that's the only emulator I have right now. It's actually legal. Now, my only standards at this point in time is it can only be a Game Boy Advance or a Game Boy Advance game. Yeah, it can only be, either Game Boy Advance or Game Boy Advance. You have to pick from one of the two. Now, my only standards at this point in time is that it can only be a Game Boy or a Game Boy Advance game. It can't be too similar to the console version, like a later release of a game that's been slightly updated. So no Super Mario Advance 2, because that's just a slightly updated version of Super Mario World. There's only a few exceptions to the later releases. It has to be different, but of the same title, like as if it came out around the same time. And I guess that's about it. So let's get this thing started. I'd like to thank you all for watching this video. Please be sure to subscribe if you want to, and like on Facebook and follow on Twitter. And I'm going to do this over again. I'd like to thank you all for watching this video. And I'll let you know if I make any more changes, like with the whole pro and con thing. Since it's kind of new, then, I don't know. Whenever I make a video, let me know what you think of it. I'll stick to whatever you all like the best. Or try to. Now, for right now, I can't really set a schedule of when I'll be having these videos, because, I thought I'd be having them a lot sooner than this, and make enough to be able to have, like, I don't know, I was planning on having a Halloween special, a possible Thanksgiving, possible Christmas special, but, it's December now, at this point in time. So, that'll have to be next year, if I continue this. Which hopefully I will. Hopefully I'll be able to entertain you all. So, If you want to, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. And follow on Twitter and like on Facebook. So, just get some updates. If you want to, go ahead and subscribe to see some more videos whenever I can release them. And like on Facebook and follow on Twitter, and to get updates, If you want to see when the videos are actually released, go ahead and subscribe. Or like on Facebook and follow on Twitter, or do all three, whatever you want to do. If you want to see when the videos actually get released, go ahead and subscribe. And like on Facebook and follow on Twitter to get more updates. And, Now, if you have any requests for any games I should review, either through this or... Now, if you have any requests for games I should review, either just as a standalone thing or with this kind of video or something, just let me know in the comments or on Facebook or Twitter, and I'll see what I can do about that.
And in case we don't... And in case, oh shoot. And just in case we don't get to this, happy holidays, happy Halloween, happy Thanksgiving, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, all that stuff. Or any other stuff. It's around December right now. Happy Halloween, Happy Thanksgiving, and Merry Christmas, and Happy New Year, holidays, whatever. That was the stuff that we were gonna try to make videos of, as he explained. Anyway, happy all that stuff.
Thank you, Git. I really don't know how to end a video. I need to look up a way to find... Thank you, Git. I really need to come up with a good way to end a video. You know, I mean, it's just that